Apologize, I usually get 5 people.
Just sick? I feel bad sick.
What do you take this picture?
Roll call. Mr. Rappiscato is sick. Ms. Alberti. Here. Ms. Alciuri. Mr. Damasio. Mr. Grillo.
Here.
Ms. Jarvis. Here. Mr. Schweck. Here. Mr. Vuno.
Here.
Mr. Musto. Here. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by the following means. Annual notice was sent to the Herald and News, the Record, South Bergenite, the Observer, the Township Clerk, and posted in the lobby of the Town Hall and Board office, setting forthcoming meetings, work meetings, and public meetings of the Board. Motion to approve the minutes. Number 4, number 5. Roll call. Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Mr. Damasio. Mr. Grillo. 4. Ms. Jarvis. 4. Mr. Schweck. 4. Mr. Vuno. 4. Mr. Musto. 4. All right, for agenda items, there's only one, Elaine Stella. Maybe I should have done the certificates first.
Since I will not be available to see the meeting or come to the meeting that you're going to have with the commissioners, could you please explain, number 1, on the facilities, of what you're going to do with that, please? Page 8.
Okay, so, for those of you who don't know what Ms. Stella is speaking about, there's a joint meeting that was advertised tomorrow between the Board of Commissioners and the Board of Education, who are, by passing this resolution, we are agreeing to work together to come up with a plan that helps our long-time facility issue. So this allows us to engage in that dialogue and shared services to build a 3-grade level building up on Matera Field. I know that Mr. Rizzo has done a fantastic job of fielding some phone calls from the public about what was perceived as Lincoln School being condemned. So we can speak about that as well right now. There's a proper term called condemnation, which means based on our long-range facility plans that we should start phasing Lincoln School out of the equation. That does not mean it is not safe. That does not mean there's not going to be students in it. It is up to code. As a matter of fact, as part of CUSAC, we just had our facility walk through with the county, and everything is up to code. So we want to make sure that we get the utilization of those terms correct. So Lincoln School will be in existence until this 3-grade level building is built, and then we will release Lincoln School. So it will be in place until there's another facility for those students to attend.
And the 3-grade level is 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9?
We're still in the beginning of the dialogue, so the facility committee and the supervisor, building level administration, and central administration will continue those talks, and we will be having, and any members of the facility committee, please correct me if I'm wrong. Once we have that meeting tomorrow, we're going to be having a number of community meetings where the community is invited so that we can get involved in much more detail. But it's something that we're extremely excited about, so we don't want to put the cart before the horse. So this is the first step, and then we invite you all to come to those meetings so that as we continue on with the planning process, you can all be a part of that. So we can all speak with one voice and make sure that the information is up to date and accurate.
Thank you.
Mrs. Locker, who normally attends all the meetings, has asked me if we could recognize with a moment of silence.
We'll have a moment of silence.
Thank you, Christian, for attending the meetings for years.
We have a number of certificates of achievement to give out this evening, a lot of different programs and students and advisors to be proud of. So I clustered them by activity, and I want to thank Mr. Fischetto, I'm going to call him up first, I saw him, for being here today. I know he's not feeling well, and I know he usually has classes on this evening, so we reserved a lot of his recognition for one night. So if he could come up. So, Mr. Fischetto, we'd like to congratulate you on your continued efforts in the FBLA competition and all the great work that you do with our students that are part of the Future Business Leaders of America, and we're hoping that you can help me hand these out. Okay? So we have, if you want to talk a little bit about each, you can go ahead.
Okay, first, we have a recognition for John Haxage. He was a finalist in Public Speaking 2, which is a very difficult competition. Next, we have a third place winner in Technology Concepts, Islam Obamame. And the winner,
Right.
place this year
Give him a
in
shout.
sales presentations.
Thanks.
We look forward to seeing how they perform in our national presentation. I'm going to ask Mr. Fischetto to stay up here. We also have, oh, and Mrs. Jankowski as well. She's here too. We have beautiful certificates from the county executive and the freeholders for the accomplishments that our consumer ball team have made. So I'd like to take the time to read this in recognition of your participation in the Bergen County Consumer Protection Consumer Quiz Bowl. So this is presented to Mr. Fischetto. Diane Jankowski. Jessica Felice. Stephen Cavello. Jalen O'Keefe. They're actually all working, so that's good. Jonathan Mortel. And Rocco Russamano. Thank you so much. Is Raya Khan with us this evening? Raya has been nominated as runner-up in the New Jersey NCWIT Aspiration in Computing Award competition. So and Raya's going to be back with us in April because she started our Culture Club, which just received recognition from Princeton. So we'll see her again in April. Janice Aquino has qualified for Region 1 State Chorus. Erickson Calcano. Again, Region 1 State Chorus. Michael Conti. Region 1 State Chorus. And Nori Lynn Witt, Region 1 State Chorus. I saved this group for the last group of awards. For those of you who don't know, our bowling team won their Group 1 and 2 champions, and also Group 1 overall state champions, which means they are the best bowling team in the entire state. Across the front so we can give you another standing ovation. The coach, Brianna Balkin. Tyler DeAndrea. Richard Suarez. Ryan Donahue. Emily Young. Dejan Smith. Lopez.
Pablo.
I just want to thank everyone for the continued support we've received all season. At school, everywhere we go, someone recognizes one of us, and we get a congratulations, good job, thumbs up, keep up the work. I want to thank the players' parents for their continued support. We have the best group of parents in the state of New Jersey. All of you, thank you for following me on this ride, and congratulations to all the
So everyone, the best bowling team in the state of New Jersey.
Good job, Ryan.
Get underway. So we have an announcement here that the terms of school trustees Thomas Ignacio, Ronald Grillo, and Sherry Charles will expire. Plus 3 seats, all for 3 years, will be filled at the Tuesday, November 3rd, 2015 general election. The polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. To the Finance Committee, Mr. Sweat.
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of Finance Committee, they so indicate now with a separate motion for each of the accepted actions that you take. Finding none, I make motion that the following finance actions would be accepted.
Second. Roll call. Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Mr. Damasio. Mr. Grillo. Ms. Jarvis. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Bruno. Mr. Musto. Education and Curriculum Committee. Ms. Alciuri.
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of education and curriculum committee may so indicate now, a separate motion for each of the accepted actions will be entertained. Hearing none, I make a motion that numbers 1 to 4 be passed.
Roll call. Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Mr. Damasio. Mr. Grillo. Ms. Jarvis. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Bruno. Mr. Musto. Facilities and district planning. Mr. Grillo.
Be it resolved that the Lyndhurst Board of Education approve a facility plan to be recommended to the Lyndhurst Board of Commissioners as to the elimination of Lincoln School and the construction of a new 3-grade facility at Sierra Field. This facility is a part of the redevelopment plan. This is a plan to replace be better than the school at the road and Mount Avenue and Lincoln School, which is located in a redevelopment zone and is subject to contributions by the township of Lyndhurst.
Roll call. Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Mr. Damasio. Mr. Grillo. Ms. Jarvis. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Musto. Mr. Grillo. Ms. Jarvis. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Bruno. Mr. Musto. Student activities and recognition committee.
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of student activities and recognition committee may so indicate now, a separate motion for each of the accepted actions will be entertained. Hearing none, I move to have items 1 through 3 accepted.
Roll call. Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Mr. Damasio. Mr. Grillo. Ms. Jarvis. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Bruno. Mr. Musto. We go to the public hearing on non-agenda business.
So again, I say, this is the beginning part, which was the beginning of March. Now, not only talking about my daughter, but general here, there is no homework being sent home. There's nothing being done because everything is being switched, so the students aren't even getting taught a lesson while in class. That's a major problem. Today was the first day in, that we actually got spelling words. That's an issue. We've wasted, I feel, We've had, and I'll go back to the last meeting, we've had 5 delayed openings, granted we needed them. We utilized 3 snow days, granted we needed them, but those half days, there was no work being done in school. There were movies, every single day, our kids come home, what'd you do in school? We watched 2 movies. We watched a movie, we read a book. Okay, so Park is taking over a whole bunch, and now we're watching movies. That's a big issue, because at this point, you might as well just hand out the report cards. It's kind of frustrating. That's number 1. Number 2, our crossing guard here is a big issue. I made a call to proper people, never got a phone call back. Now he parks his car where we need to park our cars. If we're not here by 1:30, 2 o'clock, we have nowhere to park. Our crossing guard at Memorial parks both of his cars on our street, so we don't find a parking space. If we're not here and we have to legally park to pick up our kids, the cops are giving us tickets. There's no reason why the crossing guard, who lives a block and a half away from here, needs to put both of his cars at our street when we're trying to pick up our kids. And his car is actually out there still, and it's 2-hour parking limit.
We're trying to address that situation. We're trying to, Mr. DeLasio is trying to make contact with the ANVETs, is it here, to use their parking lot as a drop-off where we can make a U-turn and you could continue in right around, drop the kids, and continue right out, and we don't have to get involved with what goes on over here. So I'm hoping, we're hoping that pretty soon that Mr. DeLasio will be in negotiations with them, because it's only for a short period of time, each time of the day. So as soon as we have that information, we'll get it out to you guys. But we are trying to alleviate the situation out here.
He's not even paying attention because my daughter was still in the car and he's telling me to move.
Okay,
My daughter's still in the car, you kidding me?
we're trying to address the situation.
Okay, well, he's a major concern because he's not a nice person. The other thing is lunch in the school is absolutely horrifying. I know initially in the school, beginning of the school year, we had the all-purpose room here that was going to be split up between classrooms. Everyone was going to be in this room at a certain time. My daughter's class was here for 1 week, has not been back in here to have a lunch period in the lunch auditorium, as we call it. Now, on top of that note, because my daughter's classroom majority, and this is the biggest problem I have at this meeting tonight, is 25 children in that classroom being told that they're the worst class in the district because there are 19 kids in that class and it's boys.
Can I just stop you for a second?
Sure.
Did you contact Mrs. Ramon?
She has been contacted not only by me, but numerous people.
Okay, did you call me about this?
No.
Okay, so we've had this conversation before because my concern is, I'm not saying there's not validity to anything that you've said in these first 3 points, but we're making a lot of strong allegations and accusations against people, and this is not the proper forum because there's only a small amount of folks that work with these kids, so one can draw conclusions and assume who you're talking about, and that could be misconstrued as defamation of character if it is not a correct statement. So as I have done in the past, I've begged you to call me so that we can have dialogue, that then I can contact the principal and we could solve these problems, because waiting a week and then making these general statements in front of a public is not going to help anybody. It's going to actually, it could possibly worsen the situation. So I always prefer that you try to call me, as you have done in the past, but I sometimes have to ask quite a few times, and we can have a conversation with Mrs. Romano and try and separate fact from fiction and move forward in an appropriate way, because this is not appropriate dialogue to have in public.
Well, fact or fiction, when my daughter's not the only one that has made that statement.
And that's fine, but that can be done over the telephone or even in person, you and I, or some combination of you, myself, and Dr. Pfeiffer with Mrs. Romano, and then we can really take a look at what's happening. But it's not something that involves everyone here, and it is something that may be insulting to some people that are sitting in this
Well, there
room
are
right now.
parents in here that are gonna say the same thing, like.
That's fine,
that
and,
kids
and
are
I,
coming back
and
the
you
same
know
way.
that I welcome as many telephone calls as come my way, and actually, I would welcome you all to come in and sit with me, and we could solve it, but sitting here and making derogatory comments about folks that are actually sitting in this room right now, I find offensive.
I find offensive that my daughter comes back and says certain
That's
things like
right,
that.
but we need to sit and move it forward and solve the problem.
Can I just ask one question? Off of which, one of the things that she is saying is her daughter's class, my daughter's class, of 2 of the 5 girls in the class, haven't been in this room for lunch since after Halloween.
And that's a fair statement, but my point is, it's now March. There would be no way for me to know that. You need to contact me via telephone, not wait for this venue, because it's inappropriate on a lot of levels. If that's the fact, and I have no reason to believe it's not, too much time has gone by, and we could have solved it before it has gotten to this point.
Okay, I didn't know to contact you.
Please, absolutely, absolutely.
Last but not least, you know, again, I'm gonna go back to the kids' schoolwork. Things are being sent home, worksheets are being sent home that the kids have never done in class. I know my daughter was out today, and she was out sick during the weekend, and I just gave her an extra day. She was supposed to be tested on part today, and I wasn't gonna let her go to school, just gave her the extra day, but, you know, I gave her assignments, and, you know, she had a division quiz on Thursday. Well, they never practiced division in school, and, you know, other parents have questioned our principal, well, if they know multiplication, then they know division. That's not acceptable for any parent. If they're not taught, you know, everyone is taught a different way. I can teach my daughter division, it's not necessarily gonna be the same way our teachers here are teaching it. So if I'm teaching her incorrectly and teaching her one way, because there are times where I sat there with her doing homework, that's not the way we're taught. Well, I'm old school math, and that's what I do for a living. So the way I'm taught is the way I know. I don't know. It's completely different what's taught. So if I try to teach my daughter division, is she gonna be ready for a quiz on Thursday? No. Is she gonna fail it? Yeah.
But again, did you reach out for the teacher?
I just got it today.
Okay, all right, so then what the appropriate chain of command would be that you could write a note with the homework assignment and send it in with the teacher. And then if you didn't hear anything by the end of the workday tomorrow, which is different for teachers and principals, you could contact Mrs. Romano and then call me if you don't have satisfaction, and we could solve it in a much quicker fashion. All right? And again, for all the parents here, I welcome that conversation with you. That's how things get resolved correctly and quickly. So if we could make that a best practice, that would be great for everyone.
Stella?
Are you going to be doing personnel?
Yeah, probably after we have an executive session and we discuss it.
I will be sending my questions to them.
There's 2 things. One being, I have 2 children in the school system. The one that was referred to as illness and he's in disability, department pre-K, and we'll be going into kindergarten next year. You guys can send out a note saying for registration, and in bold letters put only new students. Now, me and the 7 other mothers that have our kids going to school were mingling the one morning shortly after we received this, and they're saying, just from earshot, from rumors going around, that we may still have to register. Well, again, I go back to the communication issue. It took me 3 days to find out an answer of simply yes or no. Do we have to register our kids again? I finally found the answer, but again, communication, it took me 3 days to find out something else. I think it's just ludicrous. And why would you send out something that says new student only? He's in the system for 3 years. I would think he wouldn't need it, right? He's in the system. Am I right?
Now, who did you get your answer from? What was the answer? I'm curious to hear.
Rosemary Scargino?
And what was what do you have?
Yes, we have to register. So I'm just, again, if you guys send it out, could you just like, you know, at least inform the proper people, because even the teacher didn't.
I see how that can be confusing. It used to be that we registered everybody every year.
Right.
So that was where that statement came from, so we're not doing that anymore.
Okay.
We're doing registration into kindergarten, registration into 4th grade, and registration into freshman year. and you'll be getting information about that. So actually, I can see how you can feel that way, but that statement was supposed to serve as clarification that not everyone had to re-register, because traditionally that's what we used to do here. But I can fix that very easily.
Please. And the other question was just, again, on the park test that Josh was talking about. We're clearly frustrated with the whole situation. We just, as of last week, we're just starting to get a little trickling of homework, and then today it was just like full-blown homework. And I get it, there's snow days, there's delayed openings, whatever. But as far as like, in the future for park testing, I think it could be something that you guys could come up with, some sort of plan, that this is the allotted time for park review and park quizzing and what have you. And then the children has to stay on the curriculum, the children have to still continue to learn. Because when our kids come up to us and say, we don't understand this question, and we don't know how they're being taught, how are we gonna help them? My son is really smart, and he catches on pretty well, but it frustrates me when he stands there and he's like, I don't know, well, what are you being taught in school? And the other thing is, I thought, he just blurred me, I have to still talk to the teacher, but, the math, the last section that they did, I asked him if he was being taught from the book, because that's how we've done it in the past, the math book. And I don't know, Ms. Lyndhurst that he was learning taught from, so I don't know. So how are we supposed to know whether he's catching on to what he's learning? See, that's what I follow by. I'm going to the textbook, okay, you have a test tomorrow, this is what we're reviewing, do you know this, and this? And I would know, as a parent, okay, they're doing their job, I'm doing my job, you know what to do, and you go and take a test, and I know you can do that. I don't think that's too much to ask. So that's what I wanted to say.
Again, a conversation that definitely would need to be had.
Views.
I just had a question about whether it's going to be 6, 7, 8, or 7, 8, 9, but Ms. Marinelli said that that's going to be discussed in meeting and stuff like that, so I'll hold my questions for that time.
I'm sure the staff will be probably amongst the first to know once we figure that out.
Mr. Musto, one thing I'd like to say, just to address some of the parents who spoke, for as frustrated as the parents are in the park, believe me, the teachers feel the same way. I'm sure the Board of Ed feels the same way. The parents, the kids, it's across the board. It's not unique to the parents. I'm a parent of 3 students in the district myself, so I see it from both angles, and it really is a very tough situation. We're all trying to get through it the best we can, and that's, the teachers are certainly working on that as well, too.
I appreciate the teachers all, and there's a lot of them here tonight, all dealing with it, doing the best you can. There's nobody up here that's going to tell you that it was not frustrating to see how much time and effort's taken and how long it's taken. The actual application, so over a month period of time, is everybody's disrupted. Technology classes, Franklin School's got kids coming in there to take testing. I mean, it's just the whole district is in upheaval over the park, and it's statewide. Next year there may not be a park. We'll see what happens. That's the last of the non-agenda items. New business. You want to read it?
Be it resolved that the Lyndhurst Board of Education accept a donation from the DJ Wholesale Club's Adopt a School program in the amount of $500 through the efforts of Columbus School, Jefferson School, PTA. Thank you.
Ms. Alberti?
Yeah.
Ms. Alberti? Ms. Alciuri? Mr. Massey? Mr. Grillo? Mr. Jarvis? Mr. Schweck? Mr. Bruno? Mr. Musto? 4. Superintendent's report.
I have a question.
Sorry.
Trace, what is the last day that we have to write somebody before their tenure?
We have to give them notice by May 15th. By May 15th, that's not the Rice notice.
Are you absolutely sure of that date?
I'm absolutely positive of it.
Okay, May 15th.
Is the date they need to receive notice if we're not looking to renew. I wanted to share the official school wear committee has been working very diligently to try and come up with some new ideas so that we can offer the students some more options within the dress code that everyone can be comfortable with, but also give them a little bit of flexibility. Also, at the beginning of this year, we started on what I didn't expect to be such a difficult and tedious journey with Land's End, and I'm excited to let you all know that we have 2 different initiatives going on. Land's End will be up and running no later than April 1st. Everything is built. Unfortunately, there was errors on their end with the colors that they did the stitching in and things, so they had to undo that, but I'm hopeful. I received new documentation today, and everything looks great. So that'll be just in time for everyone to get their spring items. And once you sign on, your email's on there and you'll get discounts. Simultaneously, we've been working with Mail Direct so that we could offer some similar items that Land's End was offering, because they were trying to keep costs down, and as a result, the shirt is cheap in value, but they had some higher end items that they could offer. So the color for pre-K to 8 is staying the navy blue, and the logo, and I apologize, I didn't bring it with me, that was at a previous
I have a
meeting.
question. Why are we using navy blue when royal blue
Well, we're gonna,
and gold
yeah.
are our colors?
That's
I
a great
don't
question,
understand.
that's a great question, and we can revisit
I
that.
mean, we could let people who have the navy blue, keep them until they wear out, and then make the switch to the royal blue. I could never understand why we're in Belleville's colors.
Well, it was
when-
a parent.
No, I'm sorry,
No,
but
it was a,
I was
yeah,
brought
if I
up,
could just,
brought
yeah,
up blue and gold.
it was a parent and student committee, that was made up to come up with the initial, uniform.
But we are gonna make the switch to royal blue.
Well, I'm gonna show you some things. We're
Okay.
starting this year with the high school. So we really wanted to do something that made the high school stand out. So, the first thing we did for everyone was change the logo. So if you've been to Mail Direct lately, you've seen it because the board approved it. It's a circular logo that says Lyndhurst Public Schools with the L in the middle. So if you have the lamp, it's grandfathered in and you can continue to use that. But this is, which will need your approval, these are some of the new items that the students in the high school can wear. So they have the option of the circular logo that says Lyndhurst Public Schools or the LHS. So we have a dry fit polo that would be allowed to be worn every day. We have the traditional polo that would be allowed every day. That was the feminine fit. That's the other thing. We're doing a male fit and a feminine fit in each shirt. That's in addition to all of the grade levels. This is also something that we've decided to allow them to wear every day. For some students that have gotten creative and cut their collars off and worn scarves because they're itching them, we wanted to give them a collarless option. And these, for now, will be all available in navy for the K to 8. But we really wanted to start, the committee is made up of Laura Vuno, Shauna DeMarco, Frank Venezia, Michael Rizzo, and myself. And we really wanted to give the high schoolers a chance to really have their own item. And then we're going to see how it is and see if we want to infuse the royal blue with just that circular down. And this is LHS, but it won't say that. For the 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, we are going to allow them to wear this shirt. So it's kind of a stepping stone. It won't say LHS, it'll be the circular emblem. And then we looked high and low for the back and forth debate over, but we see the kids in hooded sweatshirts, but for anyone who has taken any safety and security course, we know that hoods and pockets are the worst thing that can be used in schools. So we were able to find at both Mail Direct and Land's End a pocketless, hoodless, 3/4 zip that will be available in gray, blue, and white that can be worn in the school
Royal blue
every
and white.
day. Yes, royal. Okay, that can be used day to day. All right, so that's the official school wear update. Yes.
When would we make the move for grammar school to our colors?
We're looking to revisit this, monthly.
Are we gonna make any of that available to the elementary schools?
These,
If some of the parents want it in royal blue and
Not-
Lyndhurst colors?
not right now. We had a meeting the end of last week. Michael's going to pick up these items, have a meeting with their 4 to 8s, and we'll take it from there, because we're gonna get everybody's feedback. But at this point, the styles will be available, but not the color. All right? I
So
know.
we're
Right now,
We're gonna stay with the bubble colors until.
for this second, yes, for this second.
Might be a committee that you need to be on.
Yeah, another committee.
We were just happy to get rid of the orange lamp and add some other options.
Can I
So
get
we're
on that
definitely-
committee?
Sure, you may or may not know someone who's on it, so we'll see. what we can
Oh,
do.
I don't know about that, but I just, it.
We agree with you.
Even with black uniforms and that kind of stuff, it drives me nuts.
No, we
I was
agree.
always just brought up blue and gold and
Royal blue and gold.
royal blue.
Don't forget that.
We,
I make a motion, we go into
We
executive.
you
gotta
have to
do
read, can you
this.
read, someone read the,
Resolved that the Lyndhurst Board of Education affirms the superintendent's decision in the HIV investigation for reasons set forth in the superintendent's decision to the students' parents and directs the business administrator or its secretary to transmit a copy of the board's decision to the affected students' parents.
Roll call. Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri.
Or
Mr. Massio. Mr. Grillo. Ms. Jarvis. Mr. Schwartz. Mr. Bruno.
Four.
Mr. Musto.
Before I vote, I just got a question. So we're looking at what is the end result, but we don't know how you arrived at it. It looked like in the law, when I was reading the law last night, that we need to be advised of at least the investigation, maybe not with the people's names.
that's what you're being emailed with the names redacted. It gives you all
What
the,
I've seen recently is only the result, not what occurred. So I don't know,
Right, I'll
I'm
check on
proving what
that.
the result is, but I don't know what occurred to, kind of.
you get the, yeah, it's
The
about the
perpetrator
same.
and the victim?
Yeah.
We used to get the full report.
Yeah, you get a full report. It's all
I
in
have
there.
it.
All right,
Names
I'll
redacted,
check on that.
and
May,
full report of details, maybe
yeah.
something else is getting cut off or what.
Yeah, it could be.
It's been a lot, so I don't know if maybe the email isn't sending the whole document, but we didn't change anything that we've sent, so I'll check.
I'm gonna, abstain.
Yeah, it is.
I don't have anything. I need a motion to go into executive
I
session.
make a motion.
Second.
We talk about personnel, negotiations, and potential litigation. I didn't say Any board members, mother, please sit down.
And I told you to vote for him.
Roll call. Ms. Alberti.
Four.
Ms. Alciuri.
Four.
Mr. Massey. Four. Mr. Grillo. Four. Ms. Jarvis. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Bruno. Four. Mr. Musto. Four. Personnel. Mr. Massey.
Any board member who takes exception to any of the following listed actions under the category of personnel may so indicate now, and the separate motion for each of the accepted actions will be entertained. Hearing none, I'd like to make a motion that we accept number 1 through 12. Second. 12 is the pocket.
Roll call. Ms. Alberti. Ms. Alciuri. Mr. Massey. Mr. Grillo. Ms. Jarvis. Mr. Schweck. Mr. Bruno.
Four.
Mr. Musto. Four.
Second.